Hi, this is Lady Shell. I'm here today to do another Fantasy Grounds character creation tutorial. And this time I'm going to be doing a monk. Let's name our monk, Maricela. Let's give her a picture. I've decided I'm going to make a human monk. So let's go grab a human picture. Let's get that. I just double clicked it and it gave me the token and the portrait. The same thing. Okay, the first thing that you want to do is you want to do your abilities. We're going to use standard array, which are these 6 numbers. You can put them in any order that you want. But since I already know that I'm making a monk, I know that monk's most important attribute is their dex. So I'm going to put the 15 in dex. I'm going to put the 14 in wisdom because that's the second most important. I'm going to put 13 in con because it's always nice to have hit points when you level up. I'm going to put a 12 in strength. I'm going to put the 10 in charisma and the 8 in intelligence. Okay, the next thing that you do after you get your abilities is you're going to add a background. And I've decided on folk hero. You take the shield, you drag it over to the folk hero and close this. And I've saved the folk hero down here because I'm going to need it later in the tutorial. Our race, I've already said I'm going to make a human. So I'm going to drag human over to the race section. And when you do a human, you get +1 to each attribute. So everything went up by 1. Many races give you maybe 1 or 2 different abilities that get adjusted, but humans get everyone, but only 1 to everyone. So you're kind of average, but a little bit better than average. But still, it's a good character. So our last thing, we're going to do the class. I already said we're going to be a monk, so let's drag the monk. Okay, and we're going to close that. We're going to open the skills because when you add these skills, it's asking you to choose 2 skills that you're going to be proficient in. And you already received 2 proficiencies from your background. So I have animal handling and survival already, and I do not want to pick them again. Of course, they're not available on this list, but they could have, things that you've had here could have been on this list. Since I'm good in dex, I believe acrobatics is dex. Yes. So I'm going to take the acrobatics, and I'm also going to take insight, which is wisdom. Yes. And we have good wisdom. Those are our 2 attributes that are our highest ranked ones. So those are the 2 skills that I'm going to add. Besides, insight is important that you get insight. You want insight quite often. I wish perception would have been available, but it's not. So we're going to close that. Now, I'm going to level up my monk to level 3. To do that, I'm going to take this, and I am not going to type 3 in this total level box. Instead, I'm going to take the shield, drag it off the tab and back on, and it levels me 1 level. And I'm going to drag it again to go to 3. Now, when I come to 3, it's going to ask me, it asks me for which way that I want to follow. And I'm going to do the way of the open hand. I'm going to check the checkbox. And now we're ready to move on to our abilities. These are the different skills that you get as a monk. So I'm going to open up the tabs by clicking the shield, because I'm going to want to use these most likely later when I'm putting my information on my actions tab. Okay, these are things that are coded. This is, I believe this will be coded. Open hand technique will be coded. Rustic hospitality is a role-playing thing. It says that, you know, like you fit in with common folk. And then we're going to go to unarmored defense and unarmored movement. hand, Way of the Open Hand, just talks about this is what I picked for my archetype. Now, we don't have any traits because we're human. Humans don't get special racial traits. We do have artisan tools and a musical instrument and a land vehicle. So what I'm going to do is go to the inventory. I'm going to grab the items over here, and I'm going to take the lyre because that's the instrument I want. I want to add a cart for my land vehicle, and I want to take, you know what, I think cartographer skills might be a good thing for a monk. They might want to write, write schools or be all smart and everything. Okay, and then we needed, I would like to add some healing potions because I'm going to show you how to add functionality to your healing potions later in the tutorial. I believe that's all that I need. I got the cart, the tools, the instrument, and the potions of healing. The artisan tools, the instrument, and the cart, and the potions of healing. Okay, so on the inventory tab, now what we're going to do is we're going to use one of Rob Tui's modules. We're using this 5e background and class equipment bundles. And when I use this, you can also download this, buy it and download it from the Dungeon Masters Guild. And it really saves a lot of time because otherwise I would have to look up everything that I get for the particular background and class that I picked. And I'll have to drag things over one by one by one by one. But this way, because I have the folk hero, I'm going to open up folk hero, grab the shield, drag it over here, and it gives me everything that I get for being a folk hero. I'm going to scroll down here to the class, look up monk, drag monk, and now I have everything in my inventory that I should have at the beginning of a session. Okay, so we're done with inventory. We're going to move on to the notes tab. And this is where I'm going to open up the folk hero background again because I want us to roll for our personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. This tab I call the role-playing tab because all the information that you put on here is how you're going to play your character. Your gender, your age, your height, your weight, your alignment, and your deity. And now we're going to add the personality trait, ideals, bonds, and flaws. And I'm going to just take random things, the random roles from the tables. But you could also open the tables and look at what is written here and just drag whatever you want. If you wanted this particular thing, you would drag it to the personality traits and just drop it in there. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to roll for it. And if you didn't want to use what they have written here and you didn't want to roll for it, you can write whatever you want in these sections. So this is our personality. And the next is hero. And all I'm doing is when I click on roll, you know what? I don't think she's going to be evil. Okay. So what I'm doing for my ideal is I'm just left clicking on the first word of the sentence and dragging it and dropping it into that section. And the third one's the bond. Take a roll. And this is what I'm going to take. And then lastly, our flaw. Roll, drag. Whoops, it didn't go. I wasn't in the spot. There we go. Okay, so you can also put your appearance, and down here in notes, you could put your Backstory, how you became a monk. Whatever you want for a backstory. Okay, the next tab is your log, and that is for, well, let's click it. This is their DCI and your faction. This has to do with playing an Adventures League. If you play Adventures League games, you would put your information here. And I realized I forgot to complete my inventory because I want to make my inventory nice and neat. I'm going to add all the things that are carried in a backpack and put them in the backpack. And to do that, I'm going to delete the word empty with the parentheses around it. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to leave a space right to the K there. And then I'm not putting the cart in the backpack, but I will put the cartographer's tools, and I will type a capital B, and you'll see it autofills. And for everything that goes in the backpack, I'm just going to go down the list and type the things that go in the backpack. Now you notice I didn't put the darts in here, and that's because the darts are a weapon, and you can tell they're a weapon by seeing that they're equipped, whereas these items are carried because they have a little sack symbol. And down here you see the short sword is also equipped. So I'm going to continue down my list, adding the things to my backpack. Okay, now you'll see when I click on backpack, all the items that are in the backpack are indented, and it's all nice and neat. And then these items down here are my, well, this is my card, but my dart pouch and short sword are all either weapons, or that's just another thing where I could put stuff in it, but I'm not putting anything in it right now. So we have our inventory all nice and neat. And now the Actions tab. Now I want to separate information on this tab because I'm going to want to make headers like this. And I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call it Consumables. And I'm going to make another one. And I'm going to call this Class Traits. And I'm going to make another one. And I'm going to call this Standard Actions. And now we're going to go open. This is going to be, I'm going to be using another one of Rob Tui's modules. I'm going to be using his spells. I'm actually using the class and the race also. Well, I won't need the race because I'm a human. And I need a capital S here because that's just me. But these are all really good good coding effects to be using. It just makes things simple. You don't have to use them. You can manually just drag over whatever comes from the spell list, or drag one of these features or whatever over here. But I'm going to be using the coding for spells. And so I'm going to start with standard actions. I'm going to type in this top box here, action. Now you see I have dodge, help, hide, and ready. I'm going to I'm going to leave that open. No, not class traits. Leave the standard actions open. I'm going to drag the dodge. I'm going to drag the help. I'm going to drag the hide. And I'm going to drag the ready. Okay, so now I have all four of the items that I want in this section. I'm going to delete the space holder. Now, consumables, we're going to be tracking our healing potions. And I'm going to want to make more because I believe I'm going to need 4. I'm going to need rations. I'm going to need water skin. And I'm going to need torches. Actually, I'm going to need 5. I'm going to need torches. And, oh, I see I made a new power. I didn't mean to make a power. And then the last thing we're going to track are the pitons. Okay, so for healing potions, I told you I was going to show you how to do functionality for this. The way you do this is on the where it says healing potions, I'm going to right click and I'm going to get this wheel and I'm going to choose this add action, this little arrow. So click on that. And then I want to add a healing function to this item. And you see that it opened up a space for me to tell it how much the healing potion will heal. And I'm going to open up the hourglass at the end of this line. And I know that healing potions do 2d4 plus 2. To do that, I'm going to take my d4, left click it, and I'm going to right click one time so I have 2 dice. I'm going to drag it onto this tab and it adds the dice into the dice field. And I said it was 2d4 plus 2. So I'm going to add the 2 to where it says bonus, and then we can close this. And you can see now that the healing potions are now worth 2d4 plus 2. So that is finished. We want to make sure that we have a number on here because there's a reason why we have consumables. We have to know how many we have. Everything that's a consumable is not going to be daily. It's going to be once. So I'm going to click until I get to once. So it's click 2 times, click 2 times, click 2 times, and click 2 times. Now I have to tell how many healing potions I have. I put 2 in the inventory, so I'm going to type the number 2. I have 10 pitons. I'm going to type the number 10. I have 10 rations. Type the number 10. I have 10 torches. Type the number 10. And I have 1 water skin, so type the number 1. And now if you take this from preparation mode and change it to combat mode, change the display to actions, you will see now that this is all ready for you to go in a battle. These shows that you have 2 healing potions. This is the code for it. And I like to make everything just one line high. This shows 10 pitons, 10 rations, 10 torches, and 1 water skin. And we have our standard actions, which I said I was going to make them one line, so I'm going to click on the hourglasses at the end of the line. So we have 4 lines, nice and neat. Class traits. I'm going to go into spells now. I'm going to delete word action. We are making a monk, so we're going to pick source. We're going to pick monk. And I need to see for monk how many spells a monk gets, because I don't know offhand. And it says we're 3rd level. We get 3 key points. And he's not really a spellcaster, so he's not going to have spells, but he will have skills. So we're going to look unarmored. Well, I know unarmored defense is a item. I'm going to grab the item. I'm going to type unarmored. Oh, it's unarmored strike. Wait a minute. Maybe I have the wrong thing. This is unarmored defense. Let me see if unarmored defense is here. Unarmored. Okay, first level. Your AC equals 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your wisdom modifier. So this would be 10 plus 3 plus 2, so 15, which it is. AC is 15. It's already done this. I don't need to do that, so I'm going to close that. Go back here, and it says I get to use dexterity instead of strength for attack and damage rolls. This is not coded either. This is just a feature. Okay, so I don't think there is something called martial arts. Nope, there isn't. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that. But there is Deflect Missiles, which I just saw. So I'm gonna take Deflect Missiles and I'm gonna grab the shield. I'm gonna actually, let's see, this is a class feature. So Deflect Missiles, I'm gonna drag it into this little area right here. And there's one thing. We get our key points. It's not in here. Open hand technique. Oh, there's the key points. Okay, key points. We're going to drag that in here. And open hand technique. Going to drag this in here. So open hand technique and key feature. And then armored movement. Is that in here? Nope. Starting at second level, speed increases when you're not wearing armor or wielding a shield. Okay, so I believe I've got all my class features because this is just a movement thing. There's nothing to do there. Let's make sure I didn't forget anything here. They get this gust of wind? Oh, it does say that they get it. I don't see that they get any spells. There's no spells listed here. There would be spells up here. So I don't know. I'm going to delete this because I believe I've got everything on this particular tab. I'm going to click the hourglasses so that everything goes up in a nice orderly fashion. And yeah, evasion I think is a higher level. Yep. Doing sunburst, doing strike, thunder wave, wall of stone. Okay. So we have our class features. We have our consumables. We have our standard actions. And oh yeah, darts. How many darts did we have? Let me look that up. We have, oh, it's down here. 10 darts. So I'm going to go here, and for ammo, I'm going to say 10. And if you look here, it shows the symbol of the bomb, which is the throne symbol. Then there's also the sword, which is melee symbol. And then finally a ranged attack if we had a bow or a crossbow. So I'm going to put it back to throne. So this would be the things that they use for ranged, and the short sword would be used for melee. And we have everything on our sheet now. So I'm going to say we are done. And I thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any comments, please leave them below, good or bad. And I hope you'll continue watching the other videos that I will be having in this feature for the rest of the classes. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.